Bay TV, the newest online community for residents right here in the South Bay area of Los Angeles. I am today's host, Cathy Alessandra, and I am super excited to be interviewing an inspirational artist. Wait till you see some of these pictures and visit her website. So Marie-Ange Hoda Ackad, hopefully I got that right. Yes. She is based in Montreal, Canada. And she's increasingly showing her works here in the United States and internationally. Most recently, she was showing at the Yellowstone Museum of Art in Montana, at the San Fernando Valley Arts and Cultural Center in Los Angeles, and the Texarkana Museum in Louisiana. So we are super excited to have you here with us today, Hoda. We're just going to go with Hoda, which is how you're right, which is how you're known in Canada very well. Yes. So share a little, I know I gave a brief intro, but give us a little more information, share with us about you.
Okay, so I was born in Alexandria, Egypt. I came here, I was around 6 years old. And anyways, I went to university. I always wanted to do art, but at the time I thought, oh, well, you know what, I really need a serious job. So I began working in a career that, for about 6 years in the pharmaceuticals. And then I realized that I really wanted to do art and start painting, because I was drawing when I was very young, and I used to draw and able to capture the person. And for me, that was extremely exciting. And so I started working professionally about 25 years ago, and starting, of course, by, taking a few courses again and going back to school in university. I did my Bachelor of Fine Arts, and right away I got a gallery, and it was exciting. And at the time I was doing pastels with models. I always liked to work with models because for me there was like an energy in the room. They inspired me, and I was able to do it. I was able to capture them, and I find people fascinating. So it's something that I actually today I'm working with a model, but I took a break to of course talk with you.
Yes. Wonderful. Yes. I love how you shared that, you started with what you thought was a serious job, right? Instead of following that, that heart passion, with art, and with what you're doing, I imagine there's very much that calling within you. I mean, when you have that, the expression that you want to share with all of the world, right? With what you're doing.
Yes, of course. And I think that it has to be extremely strong, because if it's not extremely strong, you won't be able to go through the turbulations that art brings, because some days are great, some days are not great. And especially in the beginning, when you don't know what the future will be, you're just working, and you're working blindly, really. And you're becoming a better person at the same time, because you're constantly being, if you're swayed by being just in the commercial gallery, then you're not going to be doing exactly what you want. And so you have to find the right balance of what you really want to do. And I think that what I found out at the end is that if I have to go very deep inside of me, and I became a better person because of that, because I listened to myself. And I think that that's how I was able to go through it, because I was very, very, let's say, authentic in my vision. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love that. I love that. So tell me a little bit, you mentioned pastels.
Yes.
And so and then also having models. So you started, take us through a little bit of that journey and how you discovered really what your, I don't know if it's a preferred medium or one that you feel that you excel at more, or.
Well, I started with pastels. I took a drawing course at the Visual Arts. That was the first thing I did. And at the same time, I took a painting course. And I had this one teacher, and I think that she's the one that really pushed me, because she called me up and she says, you have a natural talent. She said, you are able to you get it, you're able to do it. And I'm not saying it in any way, shape, but that's when I heard that, at first I thought, oh, she's just saying that, of course, and whatever. But she said to me, I mean it. And I think that you should even go, and the only thing you're missing is art history. So I went. So afterwards I thought, oh, okay. So that encouraged me a lot. And so then I went to do an art history course, and Greek art history at the time. And I thought, well, why are these people here? why are they in school and whatever. So anyways, at the end, I enrolled myself and I got an early acceptance. And then I knew that, hey, wait a second, that encouraged me also. And so then I started pursuing not only pastel, because at the same time that I was doing the pastels, I was in a small gallery in Montreal. They took me right away, and I started selling, and that was exciting. However, I was also very curious, and I was curious about doing things that that I didn't yet know how to do, like really start painting and really starting to create, and rather than just let's say you have a model and you just draw the model really well and it's exciting. I wanted to be able to create and imagine and everything else. And I started reading about let's say Rauschenberg, and seeing his images, and I was so inspired, and I thought, hey, I want to explore this and go further. And that was really how I started my journey, is by really being extremely curious about every medium, and trying this and then trying that, working with pigments, working with wax, until and as I went with that, and I did abstractions and everything that was done before, let's say, I was at the same time thinking, well, when is this going to stop, this experimentation? When am I going to get there? When am I going to feel really, really, this is mine, and whatever. And it came by itself. All of a sudden, everything kind of merged together. And I started realizing that I'm a person who's I'm interested in social issues. I'm interested in what is going on today, or I'm interested in communicating something. I'm not just interested in just painting something for the sake of it only. I'm interested in that kind of communication. Maybe I am.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I love that. Okay. Wonderful. A great, feeling in all of that.
Yeah.
And even just the exploring and deciding, which, like the experimentation you talk about. I think so
Yeah.
many of us really we don't experiment enough in life, in
Yeah.
our own careers or in our own life, right? And trying different things like that, and how it kind of winds into where the focus is. So let me ask you this: we are South Bay TV, and I know there is a South Bay connection here. I believe there was a show or an award or something. Can you share a little bit about that, your South Bay connection with us?
Yes, well, I had painted this portrait of my son, I called it. And I think I sent it to you. You might have it there on in front of you. And I had painted this large portrait, and they had like a show, and I think it was called something figure. I forgot the name anyways. And so I entered, and I won best of show. So I was really, really glad about that, because it was one of my first multimedia large paintings with a model. So that was very exciting. That's and when I'm talking about multimedia, it was putting together a photo montage in the beginning, in the background, and then working in transparency and pigments on top. And anyways, it's a really beautiful picture. So it's a beautiful painting.
Oh,
I'm glad. I was very glad. And at the same time that year, I won the same award, Best of Show, at the Texarkana Arts and Council, Arts and Humanities Center in Texas. So that was very exciting. The same painting and the same year. So very exciting. 2 times.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, would you say that most of your work now is with a model? Is it 100% of your work?
It's not 100% of my work, but a lot of my large works, I use a model for a lot of my large works. My other works, I have other works of the same kind that have, which butterflies in them, or flowers in them, or birds, and of course they're made in the same way, and they have, yes, they're communicating something about the issues maybe that we have today, or they're communicating something related to what is going on today. Always, because I use for my backgrounds, I use paper media, various paper media, and I mix that with my oil paints, and then afterwards that's to express what I want to say. Yeah.
Right. I love that. So let me ask you a more personal question. Do you feel, is there an artist, in the past or the present that inspires you?
Oh yes. Oh my God. Oh, there are many. Like I mentioned, Rauschenberg is one of my favorites.
Mhm.
I would say also, um, of course, Andy Warhol. I'm very excited. I like his work. I like the prints, and I like the colors, and as well, it would be William de Kooning for his brush strokes. I mean, I get a little bit from everyone. So
Yeah.
yes.
I love that. Okay. So what's next for you? Where do you see this, going for you? Do you have a project, a big project? Do you have another competition that you're looking towards, or what's next for you?
Well, I'm thinking of when I finish this series, when I'm satisfied, and I mean, I am satisfied in all the work I've done up to now, but when I'm decide that I'm finished saying what I had to say, kind of thing, at that point, I want to make a little book and talk about each painting individually
Mhm.
in the book as if it were a story. And so that's my
Oh, I see a coffee table book.
yes, a
Right?
little
A
coffee
beautiful
table.
glossy coffee table book with the
Yes,
stories and the photo or the
yeah,
pictures of the paintings.
yes,
Oh,
yes. With
lovely.
every painting would have a meaning and a whole something related to it, like a whole story about it. So that's what I want.
I
That's
love
my
that.
next project.
Fantastic. Well, I am sure there are many who are watching who are thinking, how can I see, we've shown some of the work here, but how can they see more? How can they connect with you? Where would somebody go to do that?
Well, I'm part of a Viridian Artists Gallery in New York City, so they could do that. They can contact them.
Mhm.
Or I'm also on ArtSpace
Mhm.
and on Artsy,
Okay.
ARTSY, on the on the internet,
Mhm.
and they can also just email me, Hoda Montreal Wenger at hotmail.com.
I love it. Wonderful. Well, Hoda, thank you so much for being with us today. Your story is fascinating. I love that just really have explored the medium in the way that you have and created some amazing, beautiful artwork that really tells a story and shares that with the world. So thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
You bet. All right, well, that's this episode of South Bay TV. Join us next time as we interview other inspiring artists doing amazing things. Have a great day.